Matt Riddle did an interview. This isn't about MLW, by the way. Matt Riddle was on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and he discussed his WWE firings. So, just switch the page, and I've switched too many pages. Here we go. I feel like getting fired by WWE happened at the right time. Not saying I won't go back or saying I will go back, there's no discussion there, but at the same time I just had another kid, little Matthew, and with the WWE schedule it's a lot. I think there was multiple variables that played into my departure. Plus, like I said, I failed a couple of drug tests, for me at least the writing was on the wall.
I failed a couple.
Yeah.
Okay.
He slipped that in, didn't he? Oh, it happened at the right time.
Yeah.
Plus, all those drug tests I failed didn't hurt. The whole leaving thing. I'm very good.
But also by him saying that says, well, I failed one, they let it go. You see what I mean?
Oh, he was suspended at one point. So I think he was suspended for like 60 days at one point. But in fact, he mentions more about that in a second. So I'm very good in the ring. I'm entertaining. But at the same time, especially with WWE and how they want to be perceived, I don't think I was a good fit, at least at the time. You're allowed to smoke weed. I went to the strip club and did some cocaine a couple of times, and I failed a drug test for that. Just a couple. And that was for all of them. It was cocaine each time, but honestly, it was just random nights. Just random nights that just so happens to pop for cocaine that stays in your system for 48 hours maximum. And just bad luck there. WWE tests you randomly, say any week, but sometimes you get tests at the end of one month and the beginning of another month. So there was one week where I failed bang bang. I got 2 right at once, so I think that's why they're a little bit more lenient with me. So he had so much cocaine in his system, he got 2 failed tests sort of consecutively in that sense, and they treated it like one.
Well, you're going to get drug tested. And some guys, this is where you make the mistake. Some guys try to figure out the frequency. Hence my story about Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yes.
Have you heard it?
We've talked about it on this podcast.
Okay.
No less. Give us the short version for people who haven't heard it.
They used to test in the garden. So we went to on a Saturday night. We went to the garden, Madison Square Garden or Boston Garden, and they did a drug test. Okay. Bam Bam Bigelow was expecting it. So he said, okay, I got through this one because marijuana stays in your system for like 30 days or something like that.
Residual, can do.
Yep. And so as soon as he left the garden, he was going home. He just fired it up. He fired 2 up just the way home. It was like an hour drive. The next day, he's going to some town that was not far, maybe 100 miles from New York City. He fired a couple up there. And he walks into the building, and they never test consecutive nights. But he thought just because they tested in the garden, they wouldn't test again for 30 days or more. And he smoked a couple of joints and walked in and said, drug test tonight on the wall. Well, he went and took it. And of course he failed. And he had 30 days off. But one time he didn't. This was a regular occurrence for Bam Bam, I think. Because when he gets 30 days off, you got to think of it like this too. His opponent also has to take those days off. Because not only is he punishing him, they're punishing the guilty party, they're punishing who he's working with too. Because now that guy has a night off. And Bam Bam did go in and he said, listen, it's my fault. I did it. And I forgot who he was working with. Say it was anybody. But he went in there and offered to work for free just so the guy could work too and get paid. Now, I thought that was a pretty good gesture on Bam Bam's part. So he said, I'll work. You don't got to pay me. And just so this guy can work and get paid.
I was really like, stuff that guy, I'm going home for a month.
And that's a true story. Well, it's a true story if you leave out stuff I made up. It's as true as I could get it.
Yeah, you need an asterisk. Just always have the asterisk, don't worry.
Yeah, like or the look, like
is Matt Riddle oversharing here? Because I mean, it's not. I mean, cocaine's still got far more of a stigma to it than than weed does. I mean, is it?
I don't think now it does.
No,
it's so commonplace. I mean, you have the football players and the baseball players, they're all doing it. So, and it's no secret. It's getting caught is the bad part of it. And I don't think the people care about that either. Now they've heard so much about it. It's not like you just going out and taking an axe and chopping some guy on the legs, chopping his leg off. But maybe that's me. Maybe I read too much about it. So I don't put a lot of stock in it anyway.
Matt also said, well, he's currently performing with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's signed to MLW. He's making appearances for Japan. And he's currently their world television champion in that promotion.
My next question is for you, and I don't know this answer.
Okay.
Does New Japan test?
I don't think they test, but I mean, I think, as best I know, they don't do drug testing. Who knows? I might be wrong. I don't think they do, but Japan's very much more traditional than the United States when it comes to matters such as this. I mean, I remember a few years ago, Taka Michinoku, he was with a promotion. It was found out that he was cheating on he had an extramarital affair, and he was suspended by that promotion for a year.
An extramarital affair?
Can you believe it, in wrestling?
God, that is a no-no.
Yeah. But they're not as liberal, let's say. More conservative in these matters. I wonder if this is going to affect a stand with Japan.
Well, just by going by what you said, it won't. You said they're more, well, you just say they're more conservative.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Matt Riddle also said this about his wife. This is more oversharing, but this is a funny story. His wife was cheating on him. I think it was about a month or two later, and I came home, and she was like, I want a divorce. Yeah. She was like, I want you out of the house. I got my stuff and said sorry to the kids. A week later, my kids hit me up and were like, why is Zach's football coach living here? And it was my son's PE coach, Rob. Nice guy, though. Nice guy. But this guy, I'm like, Rob, he's a teacher. He's nice to my kids. He lives there. My ex-wife and him are together now. That was literally a week after he left. So that was probably going on for a minute. I was traveling and always gone. So it's two perils of the wrestling business there. Overindulgence and cheating on each other, essentially, and him getting kicked out of the house for the PE teacher.
What's that got to do with the drug use?
Nothing. It's just around happening at the same time. It was the same interview he gave.
Well, all he's got to do now is pay child support.
Or not pay child support.
No, he has to pay child support. I don't care what she did. He's still got to do that. It's not the kid's fault.
I was going to say, it's the wrestling business. I mean, how many times have we heard so-and-so arrested for not paying child support after 15 years because they finally caught him? He was off the road for 2 days.
Well, touchy subject.
Oh, okay. I will move on then. Now,
well, not with me.
I was going to say, yeah.
Not with me, but it's just, it's according to what anybody's individual personal experience with it is. So I've never had to deal with that.
With Matt Riddle, where do you see him ending up eventually? Do you think he'll be back in WWE, or is he just too on the fringe for a major promotion, do you think?
How old is he now?
Oh, he's probably late 30s now, I think.
Well, maybe yes, maybe no. Going if he wants to get back, and who his is, and it also depends on his relationship with Triple H. Wait a minute, but also if Triple H is still there, which this thing with Vince may affect that.